Do you have a favorite kata? That's a question I get. I'm not saying very often, but people ask me, do I have a favorite kata? Well, I suppose you have. And, for me, the question always is, first of all, does it matter whether you have a favorite kata or not? Because I'm concerned with the development of my karate. Like I say often in other videos, and that I've stated on my website and everything, it's my students, I always tell them, everybody has their own reason to practice karate. Some people for self-defense, some people want to work on their confidence, some people just want to work out, but they don't like any other thing. So it's almost like, well, karate is left, so let's do that one. So everybody has their own reason, which means that not everybody aspires to get a very high level of skill. Most people, they are okay, once I reach brown belt, or once I reach black belt, or maybe, people think, well, maybe, once, somewhere in my lifetime, it would be nice to get a black belt. These people, they exist. I don't know if it's you, but if it isn't you, if you are going to the dojo because you want to make sure that you get better, instead of just learning a new form, although that's cool, right? Especially in the beginning. And, when you're an advanced student, it might be interesting to study something else for a change. But this video is not about that. This video is about my take on having a favorite kata. Because the funny thing is that, in a way you can say it's an immature question. On the other hand, it might be a very good question because it depends on the answer that you're getting in return. So anyway, I don't attach any value, opinion, or whatever, like I said, immature question. I'm not going to think in those kind of terms. So I asked it, to my instructors. And the funny thing is that most of them were like, favorite kata? Do I have a favorite kata? And most of the time I got a reaction like, okay, I do, this kata probably I do the most times because this is what I teach in class, or because that kata gives me the most benefit. That's the kind of answers that I get. And when people ask me, do you have a favorite kata? I have the same thing, because I don't really have a favorite kata. Of course, there are katas there that I maybe like less than others if I sit down to think about it. But basically, I always have a long-term and a short-term goal. For example, I'm going to Germany to teach a seminar, and I'm going to Poland to teach a seminar. And I'm sort of lucky, that I managed to, to talk to the instructors who invite me. And, I'm going to run the same program basically, or the same idea I'm going to do at both dojo. And of course I have to see what the students are going to do, and based on that I'm going to give a spin to the seminar. So it won't be identical, but at least I am going to do kushanku on the first day and niseishi on the second day. That's a given. That's a given for this seminar. So which means that now when I practice at my house, you can guess, right? You can guess what kata I'm practicing. Maybe I prefer to do nai-hanch, or maybe I prefer to work on my kobudo training. But at this point in time, there are other, let's say, there are other things that have my priority. So this is always the case, So if people ask me, do you have a favorite kata? Then basically from this point on, I can say I practice the kata which has the priority. And in this case, the priority is I must prepare for the seminar. Because I'm not just going somewhere. It takes me maybe, and I'm excluding the physical practice, but it maybe takes me between 10 and 20 hours, to prepare for the seminar, because I always want things to be perfect, right? So I'm gonna see my previous seminars, what did I do, at that place where I went, because I have everything on file. What did I do in Holland? Which training methods are matching the subject, so always I do this. And that's basically how I schedule my training, using a short-term goal and using a long-term goal. And that's how I do. So that's my answer to, do you have a favorite kata? The kata I practice depends on the priority. So, wrapping this one up, it's alright to have a favorite kata. Who am I to say that you're not allowed to have a favorite kata? But all I can say is that what I practice has to do with the goal that I'm working towards. The short-term goal and the long-term goal. So that's how I structure my practice. And maybe this is something that you can use as well. And if you're not teaching or if you're not doing seminars, that you have something like what I mentioned in this video, you can also connect this to the upcoming examination. Or maybe your dojo will organize a demonstration here or there. So then you can use that as a motivation, as a goal. And if you do that, I am sure that you will have focused training. And whether you know the key points of the movements or not, which I stress in other videos, that's important, to get that laser-like focus to really, to develop faster, basically. If you don't know these key points, then still, working on one kata or maybe two kata at a time is actually very beneficial. And remember, implementation is everything. How are you going to take action? So drop a comment down below and let me know your key insight and biggest takeaway from this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, turn on the notification and hit the bell so that every single time I upload a new video, you'll get notified. Now, next to my YouTube videos, I invite you to check out the digidojo.com, which is the largest knowledge base on karate and kobudo on the planet, with thousands of high quality instructional videos that'll take your skill to the next level. And if you get started at the digidojo.com for free right now, you'll enjoy these 3 welcome gifts that I prepared for you. So number 1 is the best footage of the Wadokai Summercamp 2013 with Sakagami Sensei. The next one is the Takashima Seminar from 1998. Plus you'll get access to the Meotode Crash Course, where you discover how to develop this traditional skill from the ground up. After you hit subscribe and give the video a thumbs up, click the link down below in the description box to check it out. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next one.